everybody? Welcome to another Swass-Cast. I'm your host, John Samina, with my reckless sidekick,
Keith Gleason.
And we're here with a special guest star. It's always a special guest star, right?
Hell yeah.
Independent filmmaker, comedian, all-around huntsman, woodsman.
Forris Day.
Forris Day. I like to say Morris Day, but it's Forris Day.
I didn't know you were throwing it to me. Sorry, John.
It's okay.
And Forris, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Independent films, Family Secret, available on Amazon.com.
Right here, Family Secret. It's so good, I keep it a secret from everybody asking me about it.
He hasn't opened it yet, so he'd rather preserve it than watch it.
It's my secret.
And we got one, Scary Tales. That's going to be released very shortly. It's all done.
Give us your website. We're in email.
You can learn everything on scaredstiffreviews.com. Scaredstiffreviews.com.
And Forrest does his own podcasts and reviews as well,
That's right, on Scared Stiff Reviews.
I have to admit, when I listened to your podcast there, Keith, it was like porn music coming in, so sweet.
Yeah.
It's called Scared Stiff, so you're like, is it going to be scared?
Well,
but then you got the porn music coming on, and then you're talking to Keith in such a lovely voice. It reminds me of Delilah. You know, there's that...
Well, I'll tell you why I do speak in a lovely voice.
What?
Because I got a really cheap setup on my podcast. So I'm using a telephone. So when Keith talks, it's like I got to have the volume cranked on my soundboard. And then when I talk, it's blown out. So I'm like, so Keith, tell me, what are you wearing?
But I have to admit, when I listened to it, I was like, that was like one of the most pleasant interviews ever. It made me feel like good.
Yeah. I hate that guy. He didn't swear.
You spoke really well, eloquently, and Keith always with this broken English and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's that accent that you guys got.
But check it out, Scared Stiff. It's great, and you know, one day I want to be a little. I want to be an interviewee.
Okay, well, I'll interview you.
Okay,
we'll put you on the list. After this, we'll set it up.
Okay, and but we're doing got something a little more special today before we go into our episode.
It's always a fan favorite segment.
Yeah, our fan favorites. We have got some of our reader mail, but as we like to do it, we like to call it our hate mail. So if you send us good messages, thank you. But if you send us bad messages, even better. And so we're gonna read a few of them, and we'll try to answer.
That's how you get on the air, huh? The hate mail. Oh, I love your show. That'll never make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna read some of these off, and you can help us answer them and see how it goes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is all from episode 21.
Yeah, this is from episode 21, which has been our biggest hit for the Swass-Cast. How many hits on that already, Keith?
155,000.
And we don't know why.
I thought you were going to say 155.
We wish. We wish. We wish. Okay, this is posted from Feathered Hat, I think. If I say them wrong, I mean, we got a lot of weird names here because nobody wants to give their real names. Okay, no, you guys fell on your heads. Your fave were both gay and non-flattering way. Ultimate was cool. Man, I can even see the value of Spectacular for one. The action scenes actually allow you to keep you at the edge of your seat because of the treatment of the animation. Not so much as the game's 3D graphics, of course, but still enjoyable. Even if the designs are too high schooler. A lot of weird stuff going on there. But true to character? No, really. You sirs don't deserve to be called geeks. You shame the fan base. Okay, this is that was a tough one to read, but I think he was talking about the Spectacular Spider-Man that we said that was pretty good. Hey, I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. He shames the English language.
Yeah. Well, someday he'll get a girlfriend, and she can straighten him out.
And here's another one on the Spider-Man animated. It said from Just Splick Stip something like that. Mitchell Splicknick. Ready for this one? Yeah. Wait, never mind. I clicked the wrong link. Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry.
You're probably better for it.
And I hit your 15 minutes of fame. And here's another one from episode 21.
Look, it's the same guy.
Oh,
He's still mad.
You're still mad. Oh, God, look at this. Another guy. Wait. What? You like Spider-Man and his amazing friends? Choke gag. But you dislike 94's Spider-Man the Animated Series? Based on his voice? What the F, dude? That was merely the best Spider-Man animation with actual plot and development, and you say nothing of the ridiculous pretenses of ganging up on a giant green monster with anger management issues that throw rocks with the hero character that jumps through skyscrapers. Don't you see the lameness on that setup?
No. I don't even know what he's talking about.
I think he thinks that's real.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
But
like.
I'll tell you this right now, no matter what, Spider-Man the Animated Series was crap. That was awful, awful, awful. Alright, this one's from episode 8 for our favorite comedians episode.
Right. I like that.
The thing is, you have to understand, I read all the mail, everything. I don't want to leave out anything, or we don't edit anything out. So this is from Ass League, I think?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck you, 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 fuck you. Turn the fucking volume down, you retarded motherfucker. This is a fucking gay video. Fuck off. Ready? Fuck off, 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 and fuck off. Wow. That's a lot of hate.
I think he's got a great message there. I just think the use of all caps was a little overboard.
But the funny thing is, I understood what he was trying to say. So thank you, Ass League. Fuck you. Okay, episode 5 from the Incredible Hulk television series. You lost me on the cheap asshole accusation. Considering the accomplishments of Lou Ferrigno, I wouldn't be calling him anything like that, considering when you're dead, people will still remember him. But like most people in the world today, you won't even be a footnote. Posted by High Note 606. Okay, question. First off, Lou Ferrigno is a cheap asshole.
Yeah.
We've met him many times, and he's awful. And as for a high note, for the footnote, you know, we may not be a footnote, but we're going to be a higher note than high note is, because you're commenting to us, and we're not commenting to you. And we're putting you on here just to say, no, you're actually going to, we may not be a footnote, but we're going to be a higher note than you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you,
Thanks
footnote.
for writing to us.
Yeah.
But it was nice to say that when you die, you won't remember anything.
Okay. Okay, and now this was from our recent Stan Lee birthday bash when I was at Stan Lee's private function, and we had, if I had the man's autograph on a piece of paper, the only good thing I can think it would be good for would be to wipe my ass with. Every time I see him in a Marvel movie, I roll my eyes and wonder what the hell does he do for the movie to warrant being on it. All he ever does is say some stupid remark. He is nothing but a man living on past glory. Peeping eyes. Okay, peeping eyes. First off, I have to say, past glory, I mean, no matter what his glory is...
Those movies wouldn't exist without him.
But no matter what his glory is, like, it'll always be greater than yours. So I mean, you can say whatever you want about Stan Lee, and it's like, people are going to remember him. They're not going to remember Peeping Eyes. I mean... Well,
Peeping Eye's mom will.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, at the funeral, she'll know who Stan Lee is before him. So thank you, Peeping Eyes. And you can't knock on Stan Lee. I know he has some of his disagreements in life and some of his good and bad things. You know, people can say what they want, but Stan Lee is a legend, and I think he's an American treasure, and he should always get respect. He's 90 years old, and he's always pushing the comic medium no matter what. So you can't knock a guy that's doing that, you know? Without him, where would you be? You would be friggin' doing something else, so that's what I say. Alright, let's get to our episode. Our episode we're going to be doing is our top 3 trading cards ever.
Oh,
so
nice.
we can talk about our sets, the fun that we had with them, and
any kind of trading cards.
yeah, and things that we liked and stuff. So we're gonna start with Forris because he doesn't really know much about the pop culture stuff, but he knows his trading
No,
cards.
I know pop culture stuff. Just I'm older than you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know my pop culture, and it's not a Model A car or anything like that. It's different.
Yeah.
But what are we starting with our third
Yeah, let's
favorite?
start with our
third
third favorite.
All right, my third favorite and they're all kind of up there. Is the wacky package cards?
Oh,
okay.
The original release. I know they were re-released.
Yeah.
But I got.
We'll talk about that because I have that on my list.
And I have that on my list too.
Oh, really?
But the funny thing is, just really quickly, you're talking about the original ones. Those are the ones that popped out, right?
Well, they were stickers. They were
No. But because after they made them stickers, remember the first original ones weren't they pop out, Keith? Am I correct?
They had like die cuts.
Die cuts.
Oh, there were some mixed in.
Yeah.
They weren't all that way.
Yeah, they were like a subset.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in great detail.
Well, that's my
because
favorite.
Wacky Packs is great. Okay, I'm gonna go with my number 3.
Okay.
My number 3 of all time of I had now this is probably not my best trading cards, but I had them when I was a kid, and for some reason at some yard sale I picked up a box of them, and it was a sealed box, and it was the Donkey Kong packages, Donkey Kong card package that were it was a sealed box, and they had the gum in there. And at that time, I think it was in the 90s when I picked it up, and the cards were I think from 83 if I'm correct. And my first instinct was to eat that gum that was in there. So I put them all together, and I ate the gum that literally like 4 pieces that disintegrated in my mouth.
Yeah.
But what was interesting about these cards, it wasn't just like trading cards about Donkey Kong. They had those little scratch-off things. So you basically, they were all different levels of Donkey Kong, and you'd go to the top, and if you got, there was one way to make it up to the top, and there was 3 ways to die, because you have 3 lives, and if you hit the life, you have to go back and start again, go a different way. But I love those because when I was a kid, you know, I had a whole box. It was probably the first box I ever had, and they were all sealed. Yeah. And I think I must have got it for like maybe $2 for this thing. But I just remember them because it's a piece of my childhood and stuff. So I remember those trading cards, and they were just fun, you know, like you could do stuff with them. And then, like I said, eating that gum, it was like death.
That's always a bad idea when it's fresh. I mean,
And you know what's funny? And you know what's funny? When you take the gum off like that top card, that film of like the image of it is stuck on that card.
Yeah, and true card collectors complain about that.
That makes it right. That makes it. So that's my number 3. Keith, what do you got?
My number 3 is the Mad Magazine trading cards.
Which were fantastic.
Yeah, those were fun. They had everything that was great about Mad Magazine. The Alfred E. Newman covers, Spy vs. Spy, Sergio Aragones. And,
awesome.
And, you know, then some of them would just make fun of trading cards.
They almost reminded me almost like of Wacky Packs, like in a sense, because
exactly.
they had a lot of those qualities in it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Mad Magazines,
Yeah,
so
I never had them, but I do remember them.
Yeah, I think they came out with stickers, too, like a sticker set on top of that.
That was a great thing. And the thing I loved about Mad, I mean, I'm a big Alfred E. Newman fan. I love the early stuff. Obviously, issue 3 when they did it with Super Duper Man versus Captain Marbles, which made when they were EC and it made Mad Magazine. They weren't Mad Magazine then. It was the comic. But I always loved remember the board game? Do you remember the Mad Magazine?
I do.
No, I don't.
I kind of remember.
Go to Nowhere, and it was like that space there, and it made you. What I loved about that is it made you do funny things. Like you had to sometimes stand up and clap 5 times, or stand on a leg with something on your head.
I do that anyhow.
Yeah. But I loved Mad Magazine, and those cards represented the fun of Mad. Yeah. Now Mad Magazine is atrocious.
Right.
It's I can't tell you anything even within the last 20 years, but from the 60s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and even the 80s, those were some good stuff. And those cards were reminded me
Definitely.
of that. All right, number 2.
My number 2 would be my Star Wars cards. When Star Wars came out,
original movie, right?
The original movie. Yeah, I was around for that.
It was the black cards. They were like the black.
Well, they were blue, yellow, and green.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember that.
I remember. See, I wasn't a huge Star Wars fan, and I remember seeing them though. And I remember kids in my neighborhood had them.
Well, there may have been black ones too.
Yeah,
there were, and then Wonder Bread, who's now defunct, hostess. But Wonder Bread
who?
Yeah, exactly. Wonder Bread had stickers that came in, like you buy a loaf of bread. Yeah. And this is in '77, and the sticker, a Star Wars sticker, came in, and I still have all those. Oh, nice. And those were so fun to collect. Set? I don't know if I have the whole set, but I got pretty close to the whole set.
Nice.
See, I remember the Empire Strikes Back ones, but you know what it reminds me of when you say that about those cards stars, what that reminds me of is, remember when you could buy a box? You could get a whole set in a box. Remember that? And then you would have extras.
Like that when we were a kid. We bought them like packs.
Yeah.
No, right, but I'm just saying, right, because we were young, but like today, and even in the 90s, when you would buy boxes, you still couldn't make a whole set, because they had, but that's what was the fun of that. I remember, like, you could get a few cards. I remember getting a box with my brother, and we made, like, I think it was almost 2 sets, and then we still had a bunch of extras.
Yeah.
That was the fun of those cards.
Yeah, I remember actually buying Return of the Jedi cards from the local.
Really, I got the box.
And how mad you open a pack? It's all of them are doubles except for one card.
But once again, though, right? But once again, if you bought a whole box, you could get the whole set. But you didn't know that when you were a kid.
Right.
A box was like miles away. You got only like that $1 just to get 1 pack or 50 cents. 2 packs were like huge.
Oh man, it's so funny.
My number 2 trading cards of all time, and I'm gonna it's coming here, wacky packs. But we'll talk about that at the end because I mean, what are trading cards without wacky packs?
Right. I'll say we'll go to my number 2. Much like your Donkey Kong would be the Dragon's Lair sticker set. Forris, I'm not sure if you. Dragon's Lair was a game that came.
Oh, I remember the game.
Do you remember it?
I didn't know there were.
It was almost like a cartoon.
Yeah, it was like a TV game with a
cartoon.
Yeah, it was like a cartoon with a knight or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember
that. That blew my mind, and
it blew everybody's mind because when I was a kid, I remember being down at Hampton Beach.
Yeah,
and they'd have someone playing it, and they had a monitor up on top, and everyone would gather around and watch.
Same thing with me because I remember like the arcade.
It blew my mind when I was a kid. And
now you'd watch it, be like, that sucks.
Yeah, who cares now? Yeah, exactly.
It was like a different
world. I'm forever
world.
warped by it now, but like they had the Woolworths, the arcade that had it in my mall. There was a Woolworths down a few stores, and they carried all these trading cards, and they had Dragon's Lair ones, and I was like, oh my god, and I kept buying them, and all they were was like screenshots from one of the games, and they would put a funny saying there, you know, like a Mad Magazine thing. But they had the trading card games that John talked about in the Donkey Kong. Except you could put them together, like they had these paths that would go, but they would end where you could line up another card and keep going.
Yeah.
And you had to get through the paths without getting a skull or something, I think, and you scratch it if you got the skull.
Because he turned to a skeleton and crumbled.
Exactly.
He crumbled.
So that was like fun. It was like, you know.
But that's funny how they interacted like video games with a card game, and you could get the love of the video game within the card.
And then the other funny thing on the back of each sticker will give you hints on how to beat each level.
Really?
Yeah. See, that's cool.
I think all that was a video disc inside the machine, and if you hit the button right,
if you went the wrong way,
it would jump to a different track.
To a death scene.
It would just go to different.
That's why I died all the time. When I was a kid, I couldn't understand how people could keep going, and I just keep turning to a skull, but I would still put the quarters in.
Yeah, you think about how simple it was now, and it's like unbelievable how that blew your mind in the arcades, because you went from Space Invaders to that. You know?
That was
so
huge.
It was like, but that's my number 2, so I always remember that.
All right, number 1 for us.
My number 1, as I was telling you guys, is my 1975 Topps baseball card set.
I love baseball cards. You know, I unfortunately when I got into cards around '87. And then it just started getting so saturated. Then the market started, and it was like crap. But those older cards and stuff, you know, I love it. They took time with those things.
Well, I was telling you guys, my 1975 set was my first set, and they were cool. They were like a color on top and a color on the bottom, like the background, and then they were just the one side colored cardboard collectors cards. But I used that set. Most card collectors, they're not worth anything to anyone, because we used to flip cards. So you could win cards. You line them up under the toe kick of a cabinet, and then you flip the cards, and whoever knocks them down, it's like going to the casino.
Is it playing for keeps? You would
it's playing for you flip the cards.
See, that showed you came from a time, and even when we were really young, but like you came from a time when, like, you didn't care about value and stuff. You got the fun out of the card.
The card was still valuable to us because you could, you know,
still wanted
Fred
your
Lynn
friends.
was still there, you know, and
you
Carl
remember winning
Yastrzemski.
that too, though, like, or like, yeah, I got you, and I got that. Well, like, you don't see that. You didn't see that. Like, it became the Mylar age, and everything had to be in the packages.
Upper
and all
Deck
that stuff.
started all that. I believe.
Upper Deck. Yeah, they would make the foil cards, and that was the '90s, the dreaded '90s. And it's funny, you always hear those stories of like people, even the kids in the '50s, they put like the Mickey Mantles in the spokes of the wheel. And, But like, I love that. Like, that's why sometimes even with valuable comics, I'll have my daughter get into them and like just rip like, and she's ripped like, you know, not rip, but it's just like, and it's just
like she's reading
it. She's having fun with it. It's not and unfortunately with some of the valuable ones I have to, but it's like even with the cards, it's like you don't even touch the card anymore. If it's not in that bulletproof container and stuff, it's like you can't get to it. Like the smell and the feel.
The fun is gone.
Right.
The fun is gone. It's all about how valuable it is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of ruined.
And unfortunately, so it's funny. It's like you may have not had the value of those cards, but you had the better value. It wasn't the money value. It was the imagination value.
It was great handling them cards and you know, your favorite ball player. Of course, I was always a Red Sox fan, so you know, and some of my friends were Yankees fans, and I had a friend who was an Oakland A's fan. So you'd actually like, hey, you know, I'll trade you this for that. You know?
And that's funny too, because it wasn't about the more valuable like player. It was like, that's this guy. I'll give you this guy.
It was just about collecting, getting the set.
Yeah, getting the set, and that was the fun.
And that's how you learn about the players. The back of the card, because there was no internet.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
And that's the thing about Topps. I love Topps stats. Topps always had, and if they were tied, they had the diamond. And if they led the league, they would have it like italics. How do you say italics?
Every year they would do something different. They would kind of change it each year, and it was really. In some years the cards.
You had to collect it every year. That's perfect.
They make like I say, 75 was a 2-color. I remember they were very colorful cards. I still have them. And then I remember 76 came out, and they were just white background with like a little color block with the name of the team, and it was so different from 75 to 76.
Wow.
It was just like, damn.
And it's funny, like even today that wouldn't even matter, but like back then, like seeing that color and stuff.
Yeah, it was like, oh, these are boring from last year's. You know,
Oh man. Okay, my number one all time. I'm gonna go once again with the old school cards, but this is really old school. The Don Ross 1966 Marvel superhero set. It was during those times like you could buy a box. The set is incredibly valuable. I have a whole set, and I had to replace the first 6 because when my daughter was a little baby, she chewed them all up. The first 6, sorry, Cap, it was Captain America, but and I loved it though. But what they were basically like pictures from the comic, and they had the word balloons in there, and they would say funny things, or you could write whatever you wanted on it. So I mean, and then on the back there were like the pictures of the Jack Kirby Hulk, and you basically, when you put the whole set together, it was like a Steve Ditko Spider-Man, a Jack Kirby Hulk. There was a Thor, and there was a Captain America, and you basically built them all to, you know, the backs. So there were cheap cards, and what's so funny about them too. See, Marvel in the '60s was just such a knockoff secondary superhero, superhero comic, that even all the cards are kind of like cut wrong. You know, you could tell Don Ross just kind of like, they just put these things out. A full set can cost you like $200-300 now. I mean, and the box can go for $600, and getting a sealed box can go for a couple thousand. So I mean, but it was so cheaply made because, you know, like I said, Marvel wasn't a big company then. They had to go with just people that are going to put out their stuff, you know. And so I love the cheapness of it, the colors of it. It was just bad, and I love it. And that's the stuff I love. And seeing Kirby and Ditko's and art on a card and stuff other than the comics was a big deal. That was my number one all time. And Keith, number one.
So I'll get into this. Wacky packages. That's I'm still collecting them. I still get
such a huge cult following for those things. Those things are
going back to what, the '60s, right?
Well, I mean, I was collecting them in the '70s.
They've been around forever. I want to do an episode just on them, and so I did read a lot about the history on them, and that they were like an antithesis, or like antithesis of like the pop art at the time, like what's his face,
Andy Warhol.
Warhol that did the the soup can and stuff, and that's sort of like where they got the basis of making a parody of all this stuff, you know. So
and they had some very funny ones.
Yeah, and
oh my god, they're hilarious.
And what's funny? It's like, remember we saw that special? There was of a guy. Remember that he's like the biggest. He's the biggest Wacky Pack collector in the world. He has like some of the first, like the prototypes and all that. But he even, now this is what I love, because I'm an obsessed fanboy too. He even took the gum that was in one of the Wacky Packs, and he pieced it together, but with glue, to make a perfect friggin' piece of gum back. Stick of gum.
Because it was broken.
Because it was broken, but it was in pieces, little crumbs, and he put the thing back together. Keith, you got to show a clip of that. But that shows you how crazy people were for Wacky Pack. Can any of you guys name some of your favorite cards you remember?
Duck and Hide.
I loved Beast Ball, like that monkey throwing that spiked friggin'. You're like, who's gonna get it?
I always loved Lando Quakes. It was like the Land O'Lakes girl being shooken around because of the volcano going off.
Yeah. What was that one, like Franken Parts? Like it was like it was like the what was it, the almost like the Lincoln Log things, but you build a Frankenstein. Hawaiian Punch.
They had the the Huggies. It was like Buggies or something.
Drowny with the
Drowny.
What was that other funny one that you liked? You put it up. I remember that. It was really funny.
G.I. Toe.
Yeah, that's a classic one. G.I. Toe.
But the funny thing is and just like everything in the 90s, they got terrible. But recently, they got back to getting those good artists again, the painters.
Well, see what they do. What they do. It's almost like with the comic books. Even though I don't consider comic books that great today, but they're much better than they were at the 90s. It became this thing, just a sell. And then the people who originally grew up with them got older, and so they started making, they were the people now in charge of making these things, so it was like, it wasn't about the money anymore. Sure, you make the money, but it was about the nostalgia value. Yeah. They went back to what worked.
Yeah.
And so they came that, and now they honor that. You see that. That's how, like, even the superhero movies that are out now.
Yeah.
You had all those bad movies that came out in, like, the 90s and the 60s and whatever, in the 70s. But now the people
Actually, I think I even have some pictures on here.
The people who grew up with them, they made them good. You know, they made them, and that's what's going on.
Right, and the thing that's good about the new ones now is they've actually rolled with the times. Like, they have, like... They have, like... awful apps, you know, and they do, like, let me see, I have a few here. I got Mummy D instead of Sunny D.
So like the mummy rapping and stuff.
And these were from Wacky Packages postcards that they did.
Whoever, people would be looking at you 20 years ago, what the hell is he doing with that?
Swiss Mousse, chocolate mousse. Cheetahs. They're all
Cheetos. They're all the cheetahs playing cards.
Preparation H-bomb. The guy's like shitting a nuclear. Right. Stretch arm stain instead of stretch arm.
Yeah.
I'll put these up so that people can see them.
But see, and it's funny thing is, it's like, it's not even really gratuitous. Like, it's just good old fashioned fun humor. And it's like, you don't see much of that. That's what Mad Magazine had with the Mad Magazine.
And you don't see a lot anymore in the old ones. They had cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big thing.
Well, they had the Camel cigarettes, and they had the Camel with all the cigarettes in his mouth.
Yeah. They won't see that stuff anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? But yeah, those are my absolute favorite. And I think, still collect those.
And you know, when you guys send us your favorite pack trading cards, but you gotta admit, no matter what you have, in the top 5 list, Wacky Packs are going to have to be on that list.
Gotta be. They're the longest.
I think it's funny that we all had them and we didn't talk about our
Exactly.
And those are also those type of cards that even people who forgot about them, they'll go back and like, holy shit, I remember that. Like, you know, people, they have that type of nostalgia value because they were big in every generation.
Yeah.
You know, they always lasted and stuff.
Forever,
And now they have those books that are out too, the ones that you have that you can get.
These nice hardcover books.
I've seen them.
Have you seen it? That has them all.
And then they have like a pack at the end you can open, like, you know, you can sell the newer stuff. So, okay, so send us your favorite trading cards, hopefully your favorite Wacky Packs, and we got a Wacky Pack episode eventually coming in. And so, hey, contact Forris if you want porn. You do porn, right?
Well, you could call it that, but it
has the same quality.
The only thing missing is naked people, but it does have
penetration.
Yeah, and it has
you get this type of penetration, not this type of penetration. With me and Keith, we like that type of penetration. All right, so thanks. So give me a how good and
so good.
Welcome back to Unwrapped, where we're getting interactive with our eats. And one treat that made us laugh was Wacky Packs, the sticker cards from the 70s that poked fun at the foods that we ate. So let's discover what they're doing to make a comeback and find out how they get away with these crazy antics. There's a new craving for frosted snakes, sneakers, and lice cakes. And what sounds gross to grown-ups, kids are eating up.
There's nothing more than a kid likes to do than to make fun of things that their parents enjoy.
These are part of a new line of Wacky Packages or Wacky Packs. Tradable stickers with the sole purpose of poking fun at popular household products.
We don't expect people to take this product very seriously. It is irreverent and intentionally so.
It was 1967 when the Topps Company in New York City first introduced Wacky Packs. But 1973 was their heyday, when publications like Mad Magazine poked fun at American culture.
During that time, I think it's safe to say that Wacky Packages became a nationwide disease, spreading to all parts of the nation.
And kids like Greg Grant from Philadelphia caught the wacky wave.
Every kid knew about them, and they were crazy, and you couldn't get them anywhere because they were always sold out.
Today, this mathematician is counted as one of the largest collectors of Wacky Packs in the world. And in his collection are some of the first.
You had to punch them out and then lick them like a stamp and stick them on things. And apparently that just didn't work too well.
Greg has over 15,000 of these individual stickers that range in value from 10 cents to $1,000. He also has scores of boxes, uncut sheets, and one unusually chewy collection.
I've got gum. I'm probably the only guy with a gum collection.
Most of these pieces are whole, but a rare piece from the 70s needed some work.
I had to piece one together that was in about 20 pieces. I sat there with like tweezers and crazy glue. My wife was like, he's gone.
But Greg's most prized wackies are even sweeter. They're original paintings that the stickers were eventually made from.
They're not, done real big and reduced. They're painted real small, just a few times bigger than the sticker.
And his most valuable painting, worth over $20,000, is the iconic Gadzuka.
I would sell my mother before I would sell these.
And because Greg loves the nostalgia, he keeps on buying.
This one was $16,000 on eBay.
It's that same internet influence that's making Topps go wacky once again, reviving a brand that stopped in 1991.
We realized that there was a rebirth of interest, and at that point decided that maybe it was time to bring Wacky Packages back again.
In the new series, there's 55 different stickers, but inside each pack, one thing will be missing.
But we decided going forward, we would produce Wacky Packages without gum.
It actually got the boot because it left a powdery film on the stickers. And after all these years, Topps is still getting away with these over-the-top parodies because of free speech. While a few companies took legal action and lost, most won in.
We have had companies over the years come to us saying, hey, why aren't our products in the Wacky Packages? Because we'd like ours to be parodied as well.